We talked about Dragon Ball, we talked about Dragon Ball Z, and we talked about Dragon Ball GT while roasting a hell lot of Dragon Ball Super anime and manga. And I think it's now time we talk about Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Super Dragon. Oh man, we have Dragon Ball Super Heroes, and then we have Super Dragon Ball Heroes. You know how confusing that is? Did you know that Akira Toriyama, the god of Dragon Ball, wanted to call the movie actually Dragon Ball Superheroes? Man, it's all confusing. What's with these heroes and super? This is getting out of hand. But let's get back to topic, or else I'm going to ramble the shit out of this video. So, Dragon Ball Heroes, Super Dragon Ball Heroes left a weird taste in our mouth. It's a video game basically, an arcade game. Nobody of us has played probably, unless you live in Japan. And I don't think you live in Japan to play the arcade game. And Toei decided that we should get an adaptation of that game to market it. So we have seen, I think pretty much everyone has seen a bit of Super Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime, and it was awful. But what if I told you there's also a manga adaptation? And you might be wondering, who the fuck cares? Manga sucks. You have said it yourself, anime is better than the manga. Well, that's not always the case. And I think we are going to compare anime to manga today, like we did in Dragon Ball Super, and there we also established that the manga is a much better story, much better paced and written than the manga, than the anime. And surely there has to be something redeeming about the manga, or else all these ideas are wasted. We are going to look at each of what Super Dragon Ball Super has to offer step by step. But before we do, let's talk about the story in general. Future Trunks is trapped somehow in the prison planet, and Few came alongside Mai to ask Goku and Vegeta for help. On the planet, they are trapped by Few until they collect the 7 Dragon Balls. Trunks allies with Cooler, and alongside our heroes and the Xeno counterparts, they confront Cumber, an overpowered Saiyan. Cumber gets defeated, and they escape. That's pretty much all there is. The story doesn't seem too bad. Dimensional counterparts kinda justify that there are versions of our characters that are stronger than or can rival members of our favorite characters. There are some neat concepts like allying for a common goal. Since many characters in the planet are trapped, even if they are villain, they probably want to get out of there. And the only problem is the execution, which is why the anime fell apart, and maybe the video game too. There's no around the bush. The manga just handles the elements better. The anime completely dropped the Dragon Ball subplot and focused on the Cumber fight. We see no fight against Bojack, we don't see Majin Otosu or whatever. It's just Cumber versus everyone. So now we get to the meat of Super Dragon Ball Heroes fan service. It's why you watch Super Dragon Ball Heroes. You want to see these dream matchups and unique transformations we have never gotten, and always thought, what if this guy had this and such. And Super Dragon Ball Heroes give us some of these, and I'm going to discuss them in somewhat in detail. So look forward to it. we are going to look at the first highlight, which is Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku Xeno. Now, if you are part of the Dragon Ball community, this was your selling point. The advertisement of this promotional anime, the huge poster even, showed us that we will see Goku fight Goku, and both use their forms as they used in their respective series, even if Senior Goku isn't really GT Goku. GT versus Super is still ongoing debate, even if in cases of which form is better. Some say Super Saiyan Blue, some say Super Saiyan 4, some say Ultra Instinct, and some say Ultra Ego. Who the fuck cares about Ultra Ego? But let's not talk about the bush, around the bush, I said. And Bandai had the good idea to implement this in a video game, giving us that fan service we craved, and Toei animated. Let that be animated. And if you watched the fight, you were probably disappointed. And we are going to talk about how say which one handled it better, the anime or manga, like I said. And I think without a doubt, the anime fight, nobody liked the anime fight, right? Simple reason, because there was no fight. They transformed into their strong, most powerful form. Xeno Goku attacked a few times, Goku hit his head, and then they had the most disappointing Kamehameha clash in the franchise. They stopped to fight, and Few revealed himself as a bad guy. The manga version is a different story. There are few misconceptions about the manga who won, because in the manga there was no victor announced. Again, Xeno Goku attacked as a Super Saiyan 4 and is caught off guard by a version of himself appearing to guard Few. So that is enough for them to start fighting. It's a simple thing, right? Like, Xeno Goku is impressed about the blue-haired Super Saiyan. The action is great, and it feels more natural since Xeno Goku doesn't know about Goku being aware about Few's intent, and Goku doesn't even know he's fighting a counterpart, since Xeno Goku appeared as a Super Saiyan form, a form that doesn't exist in his world. And Few, being a bad guy, is discovered in a more natural way, as Vegito's instinct is that uncovered it. Few's motivations seem more genuine than in the anime. He is driven by curiosity, while in the anime he just wants to write the ultimate Dragon Ball fanfiction. Few even respects Vegeta to the point he hands him a Dragon Ball. And I think the fight between Goku and Goku, you really have to look at yourself in the manga, because there's something about that author. He knows what fights are really important for us to see. He really took the time to give us a really engaging fight, and those who weren't meant to belong or were just about one big highlight, like a transformation scene, he keeps them as short as possible to leave a certain impact. But these characters that use the transformation would eventually use it in a more efficient way later on in the story. But let's move on to the next highlight. Cumber is a different character in both versions. Anime Cumber is obsessed with fighting and welcomes any challenge. When he broke out, Few was joyous about what happened without calculating the consequences. He appeared scaring the shit out of Goku and Vegeta with his power, so they immediately turned Super Saiyan 2. Okay. And only Goku transformed. It was kinda weird. what happened later compared to that. In the manga, Cumber escaped surprising few, who has been shown pretty confident and calculating over the course of Heroes. But Cumber was on a different level compared to the Time Patrollers Goku, Vegeta and Trunks. In other words, before Cumber even arrived with his key sealing suit, Goku and Vegeta immediately went Super Saiyan Blue. You can immediately feel Cumber is a threat without doing a single move. Oh boy, Super Saiyan Berserk Goku. That terrible transformation. The anime version is a complete joke. Base Vegeta avoided his attack, and the newly arrived Trunks had barely any trouble either. In the manga, Goku one-shot Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and almost kills Trunks by accident when going after Mai. And who had to save him? Freaking Cooler. Speaking of Cooler. Next up is Golden Cooler. After Frieza got his part swap transformation, people wanted Cooler to use that too. And here's where Dragon Ball Heroes is delivering once again. How did both versions handle it? Again, the anime failed. Cooler had enough power to push away Super Saiyan Berserk Goku with just a Ki Blast. And the cringy part is after he transformed in that hyped up golden form, where he would copy paste the same line Frieza said. He one-punched Goku and then released a golden supernova at Cumber. That's it. Goku is back to normal, showing how pointless the Berserk form was, and Cumber remained unharmed. But he was impressed enough to break his armor. And this is all you will see about Golden Cooler in the anime, sadly. And let's move to the much better manga. Cooler had the coolest battle enter scene where he saved Trunks for reasons I will mention later. Fu taunts him to the point Cooler actually decides to transform. This Cooler isn't trying to play any games with homages. Cooler had to prove himself that he is capable to beat a powerful foe with his own power. This exchange, while short, was more than impressive. He decided to finish both Saiyans with a golden supernova. He reverted back to his previous form. He failed to kill Goku. It was pretty impressive that he was able to knock out a Super Saiyan Blue plus tier opponent. At the time, it showed how much powerful Cumber's ki is, as Goku might have died from that attack and the evil Saiyan is still unharmed. So you get it's a multi-feat, like fucking Cooler beats an opponent far stronger than he should be capable of, because Berserk Goku one-shotted Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Then you see, because Goku was covered in Cumber's ki, he survived that mighty attack. And then you have Cumber, who is unharmed from that attack from Cooler, which was Cooler's mightiest attack. So, if that isn't a cool feat, it was a short exchange, but it left a far bigger impression than the anime could ever do. Which is why I call it the manga is better than the anime, unlike the usual case of the anime always being better than the manga. Now Cumber removed his jacket that restricts his power and can now fight at full strength, meaning he is the strongest on the battlefield right now. And what can the characters do now? And here's where the Potara are coming in handy. The premise between Vegito versus Cumber is that we finally get a fusion character fight at full power, and restricted Cumber could already take on 2 Super Saiyan Blue and survive a golden supernova from Cooler. And now that Cumber doesn't have the jacket, he there's no way around. Fusion is needed. And not just fusion. There's a highlight of this special fight is that Vegito would use Super Saiyan Blue Kaiju. And something very hyped up back in the day. And we never got to see that. And that is why many were excited. So how did the anime handle this? So Trunks decided to play the scapegoat to buy time. So much time even that after the fusion, Vegito didn't bother doing anything and Cooler pretty much gave up after his third ki blast. Cumber was outmatching Vegito effortlessly and didn't even bother covering himself in ki while fighting. Vegito had no choice but to use the Kaioken. We don't know how much power, by how much power he increased, but Vegito was still no threat to Cumber, as even while he was winning the beam struggle, Cumber just slashed his final Kamehameha. So Vegito's best move didn't do jack shit regardless. And Cumber suddenly decided to transform into a golden Usaru. Before Vegito could do anything, he defused like always. Now let's move to the manga. The manga let Trunks save Cooler this time, and Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta pushed Cumber away, only to be knocked out immediately. Now there's a time where teamwork came in handy with Oolong and Mai. Yes, Oolong is in the manga version alongside them. Cumber was distracted. Cumber was distracted enough to the point that Goku and Vegeta could fuse to Vegito, even if that scene didn't make sense to how Oolong could buy that much time the way he did. They didn't even show the entire fight. They showed parts of. There were some first clashes that left an amazing impression. When we cut back to the fight, Vegito decided to use Kaioken for the first time, as he was facing a Super Saiyan Cumber, which we didn't see in the anime. But Cumber didn't want to play any games and decided to use his Golden Usaru form. Unlike in the anime, Kaioken Blue Vegito and Golden Usaru Cumber were about evenly matched. You could really feel the power of the beam struggle. It was on a scale that could have happened in Dragon Ball Z. Sadly, the fusion ran out like always, but because the power was so large, the planet started to get damaged. Few arrived and saved the two Saiyans from Cumber's attack and minimized the damage. The Vegito fanservice doesn't end here. After Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, we are getting Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, and it's time. At the time, Cumber reverted back to its base form because Few got rid of the source of his power, and the Time Patrollers show up to save their counterparts from an attack from Cumber, and they decided to put Taria fuse as well. So let's start with the anime. This is where Vegito Sinnoh shines the most, because Cumber immediately turned Super Saiyan through, skipping Super Saiyan, and was pushed into a corner by Xeno Vegito. The problem with this fight is that it looks pretty much similar to his Super Saiyan Blue counterpart. Only that even this beam struggle was the same, with the difference of Vegito using an inferior Kamehameha and actually winning before defusing. The manga didn't focus too much on the fight. They pushed Cumber to turn Super Saiyan 3, and they began to have trouble until they were saved by Goku in Ultra Instinct. Mastered Ultra Instinct versus Cumber got justice in both versions. In the anime, he dodged all of Cumber's moves and overpowered him with a simple Kamehameha. In the manga, Goku dodged even moves Vegito couldn't dodge, but we didn't see the conclusion because Oolong wished from Shenlong uh, everyone to be released from the prison planet. Overall, I think the manga it's just better in terms of execution, and it knew where it puts the priorities over the anime. The manga knows what really matters, and that's why I prefer it over the anime. It even managed to fit the Dragon Ball subplot, which the anime didn't do jack shit with. We see Trunks teamed up with Cooler, and we see how they dynamic work, unlike in the anime. Where in the anime they spoke like once and never exchanged a word ever again. In the manga, I enjoy uh, Cooler helping Trunks and tries with him to get the Dragon Balls. He values Trunks' strength, and even when it is needed, he enters the front lines himself. He makes sure Trunks accompanies him when Majin Otosu appears, trying to escape with the knowledge about the Dragon Ball whereabouts. We see them team up against the Ghost Warriors while Majin Otosu managed to steal everyone's Dragon Balls to summon Shenron. The manga adds Oolong as comic relief, who saves everyone at the end, like in the first arc of Dragon Ball, which is the best arc of the original. So, what does the anime do to pander all that time with? Well, the biggest offender is the Cumber fight, which is pretty much pointless. Did we really need to see Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku fight Cumber? Did we see everyone charge at Cumber as a Super Saiyan? No, not really. When Few took away the Golden Usaru form, that is when the time Patroller should have showed up, but we got Super Saiyan Goku fight Cumber instead. So we can see Cumber remembers that form, because he apparently has a history with Super Saiyan God. The manga did a better job introducing that relationship early on. There were two other moments where Super Saiyan God could have been shown. Instead, we get Super Saiyan 2 Goku for some reason. He should have turned into Super Saiyan God in that moment instead, or in the Cumber fight should have started with Goku going Super Saiyan God. There was way too much pandering with just one pointless fight. While not the worst episode, it made the Golden Usaru form rather pointless. Well, those are my thoughts on which were better, but how good is the manga? There are a few inconsistencies, like the Oolong parts I would like have seen as a fleshed out Xeno Vegito fight, but considering it's a promotional manga, it was still impressive is that the author managed to put that much stuff in. To me, even the current manga struggle to make the arcs flow well. The manga version of the Prison Planet arc is definitely worth a read, especially for the Vegito Blue vs. Cumber fight. And while the other fights aren't as fleshed out, they are entertaining in their own way. The interactions taking away a bit of the focus from Cumber and actual teamwork instead of watching others do the show job is what I liked also. And when the characters didn't do anything but watch, they usually had a good reason from what we have seen in the manga, unlike in the anime, where they just stood there watching menacingly. Just kidding. They weren't even that well. Don't let the art style scare you. When the action starts, they look really close to their animated counterparts. What are your thoughts on Super Dragon Ball Heroes?